And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, right here on BearcatJournal.com. Go see our good friends at Hail Mary's. They're in Cheviot, right on Harrison Avenue. They're in the Dora District. You can walk from bar to bar with your drinks. 27 TVs, 9-screen video wall. There's not a bad seat in the house. They subscribe to every sports package that DirecTV offers so they can stream all the games. And Cincinnati Sports will always be on the video wall. They don't have a kitchen, but they have food trucks on the weekends and randomly throughout the week. Brand new walk-in cooler, brand new draft lines. And of course, not only do they pour the coldest beer around, but they pour your Cincy Light in a 32.8 degree beer frosted glass. What's up, Aaron? Long time no see. How you doing, buddy?
Just happy to
Grinding away.
Happy to be getting this done.
Look, we discussed this. We could talk signing day if you'd like, but actually, we're not going to talk signing day, even if you would like, because we have more signing day content than anybody on the internet.
Yeah. It would be a disservice. Whatever we could offer would not be anything by comparison to the people who actually recruited these kids and were excited to sign them.
Every year, we do a signing day interview with the offensive and defensive coordinators. They break down the commits on each side of the ball. We have that again this year right here on the YouTube channel with Brad Glenn, with Tyson Veit, talking about all the offensive and defensive recruits. We have Scott Satterfield's press conference from today. We have Zach Grant's press conference from today. And we also have an hour and 40 minutes with Zach Grant on the BCJ pod. So there's like 2.5 hours of signing day video here on the site. So there's plenty. If you're looking to get caught up on signing day, you're not going to get really much of that from Aaron and I in comparison to what we already have produced. So we'll get to some other things tonight. Mainly, not a great week for Big 12 basketball. We will get to that momentarily. But Big 12 championship game on Saturday, Aaron. Iowa State takes on Arizona State. Arizona State is down their number one receiver, who was, kind of their do everything go-to guy. That against a stingy Iowa State pass defense. I want to pick Arizona State, but I think it's going to be a tough one for them given the matchup.
Iowa State is number 16 in the country. Arizona State is number 15 in the country. This thing opened up at -1.5. It's moved to -2, favoring Arizona State the whole time. That said, ESPN's analytics say that Iowa State has a 55.1% chance to win this game, as opposed to Arizona State's 44.9% chance to win this game. I still think that regardless of Arizona State and their receiver, which it's a big loss. Do not get me
especially
wrong.
Against Iowa State's very, very good pass defense.
I don't think Arizona State relies on the pass as much as they rely on the run. And I think that I cannot bet against Cam Scatterbo, not in this game, because he will run you over. And what was the line Scott Satterfield used? Make you like it. So, no, the kid's a dog, and I will not go against him. As opposed to Iowa State, where they just never really had a guy on offense jump out like that. And they never were really ringing up 30-point games on you. Arizona State, again, missing a giant piece of their offense. They still have other pieces to that offense.
I just can't pick a team to win the Big 12 that lost to Cincinnati.
That's what you're doing? That's what you're doing?
I think the negativity over the past 4 days has wormholed its way into my brain. So
unreal.
I do think Iowa State is going to win a close one. I just think their defense does enough to slow down Arizona State's offense. But I think it'll be close. I wouldn't be shocked if it goes either way. The line obviously tells you, like, everybody thinks this is going to be kind of a nail biter.
Yeah.
I just think in perfect conditions in Jerry World, I think Iowa State's defense carries the day and gets the job done. But if that is the case, incredible run by Arizona State this year and Kenny Dillingham. I mean, picked last, and they're playing in the championship game. So keep hope, Cincinnati fans. Keep hope. Well, how about our guy, Brent Yormark, coming out today and standing up for the conference and saying, there's no way a group of 5 Boise State should be ahead of the Big 12 champion.
Look, whether he even believed the words coming out of his mouth or
He
not,
has to say them.
the man will continue to sell his conference above all. And God bless him for it. I'm here for it. I think that this is going to be a one-off. You're not going to see a team do what Boise State has done often. I don't think, I hope you don't see a conference cannibalize each other the way that the Big 12 has cannibalized itself this season. When you have 8 teams, 9 teams, whatever it was in the mix going into the final week for the conference championship, that's out of control. That's crazy talk.
It is, but I do think that this is going to be a conference that regularly kind of cannibalizes itself just because there's no dominant team. There's no team that really, like, I think stands out from the pack. So, you're probably going to have a first place team that separates, but then I think 2 through 5 every year is going to be pretty cloudy in this conference.
If that's the case, then I think you are making a bigger case for why you can't put a G5, if we're including the Pac-12, a G6 team in.
Well,
and you would have.
This year I would say is a touch different just because of 2 factors. One, Oregon. The only loss Boise State has is to Oregon by 3 points. Oregon is undefeated and undisputed number 1.
Style points don't count, remember?
They have to matter at some point if your only loss is to the number 1 team by 3. I agree. Style points don't count, right? But they also have, if he's not the front runner, he's second in the Heisman Trophy. Like, Ashton Genty is incredible. So you get a rare case this year where you have like what appears to be a special group of 5 team. We will see. I think that's going to be a really good game with them and UNLV. I do not think it's a sure thing that Boise State wins. I think they do, but I don't think it's like they're significantly better than UNLV. That might be the most interesting game on Saturday, just to see what happens, like, as the dominoes fall if Boise State gets upset. But I don't think Brett has a great leg to stand on with this argument, because I think Boise State's probably better than the Big 12 champion, or at least as good.
Again, I don't care if he believed what he was saying or not. He will continue. He will continue to sell this conference.
I know.
Every ounce of his being, and I love him for it.
Over to Big 12 basketball. It has not been a great showing so far this week. Obviously, Cincinnati loses to Villanova last night. Providence thumps BYU 83-64. That one was a little bit surprising, but Providence has struggled. They got it going last night. Right now, Texas Tech is up 61-46 on DePaul in the Big East Big 12 Challenge. Creighton kind of dominated Kansas throughout that game, 76-63. Creighton is a winner. Iowa State kind of carrying the banner for the Big 12 right now. They put it on top 5 Marquette. 81-70 ends up being your final. Iowa State was in control early. Marquette made a run to get back in it, and then Iowa State answered with a 14-0 run to kind of put things on ice. And Iowa State might be the best team in the Big 12.
We'll see. They're having a hell of a year, though, man. They are having, just in all of the sports, a hell of a year. Jealous.
I mean, their only loss is
guy.
to Auburn. Their only loss is to Auburn, who everybody thinks, well, now that Kansas lost, if Auburn can, well, Auburn's down 7 at Duke right now.
I'm just saying, jealous. This guy of all of the success between men's basketball and football.
So,
give me that.
I will just say, Aaron, they waited 130 years for that success in football. It's their first 10-win season in school history. So,
we talk about
to those who wait, whatever that's saying, whatever.
The riches go to the spoiled.
No, and that, to whatever the saying is for somebody that waited like 2 lifetimes to see their team have success. Good for Iowa State. In Iowa State fashion, now that I think about it, Arizona State probably will win because Iowa State football is not allowed to have nice things.
I did want to go back to that BYU Providence game from last night. Did you see the apology that Providence issued today?
Oh yeah, for the chance that they were from the. That is, I don't know. That is the most classless fan base in the world. Their fans on Twitter are truly insufferable, and they have rallied it into action with the F the Mormons or something. They screamed all night.
Whatever it was, the AD had to go into the student section in the middle of the game and tell them essentially to shut the fuck up and move on with your chant because it's terrible. And supposedly they discontinued it at that point. I doubt it. I didn't watch the game, but they did issue an apology today.
F the Mormons that they shouted all night long.
It's ridiculous.
And then in a game that should have been a lot more fun, but UConn without Alex Caravan, Baylor without VJ Edgecombe, and then LJ Cryer, 5 minutes into the second half, got a concussion, or at least, is in concussion protocol, and didn't come back in the game. So we didn't really get to see both of those teams at full strength. But UConn does win at home 76-72 over Baylor. That everybody thought was going to be for sure a top 10 matchup, top 5 matchup potentially at the start of the season. But UConn bounces back. Oklahoma State dumps Tulsa 76-55. Tomorrow, really only one game on the schedule. TCU hosting Xavier. Go Horned Frogs. Friday, in a game of, 2 teams that used to be very relevant in college basketball, Georgetown takes on West Virginia in a game that literally nobody is going to care about.
7-1 versus 5-2 on a Friday night. It's not terrible. On ESPN2. On ESPN2, it'll be on at the bars.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty of eyes on it.
Saturday, Kansas State, St. John's should be interesting. Butler at Houston. Butler's been a little surprising. I think they might be walking into a hornet's nest with a Houston team that is 4-3 right now.
Potentially. Gotta find a scorer.
Yeah. St. Mary's, Utah, and then Colorado State, Colorado. Is there anything on Sunday? Yeah, there's a bunch of bye games on Sunday other than Texas A&M at Texas Tech, and Kansas at Missouri, Oklahoma State, Seton Hall. So, and Vanderbilt, TCU. So there is some good games on Saturday or Sunday coming up. But there you go. Signing day coverage is everywhere. So check all that out. And thank you for watching. We will see you next time. Hail Marys, Nightcap, Bearcat Journal, Cincy Light. Take it away, Aaron.
See ya!